Okay, just a few exercises. It's going to take 10 minutes, no more than that, to work on your stability. So, if you have just had a baby, or if you've got back problems, if you're new to Pilates, then this is a great little exercise program for you. We're going to start lying on our backs. You may want a cushion under your head. I'm not going to put a cushion under my head because I don't need one. But if you feel that your head is kind of you're looking back like that, then please, by all means, have a small little rolled up towel maybe under your head. Lying on your back, you're going to have your knees bent and you're going to have your feet hip distance apart. So what I mean by that is if you just find your sit bones, they are the bits that if you sit on somebody's knee that stick into their leg when you sit on them. You're going to have your feet about as wide as that, so it'll be probably 1 to 2 fists apart. And then I want you to place your hands on fingers on your pubic bone, and heels of hands are going to go on your hip bones. Your hip bones are just there. They're again little bony bits that stick out on your pelvis. And I want you just to rock your pelvis forwards and backwards. And as you do that, what you'll notice is that if your hands were a tray and if you had champagne on that tray, as you tip your pelvis backwards, that the champagne would drop onto your belly button. And if you tip your pelvis forwards, that the champagne would fall onto your toes. So you're going to come to a place that is in between the two, that you could just balance your champagne glasses nice and neat. And in that position, you will either feel that your back is really quite arched, or you'll feel that you're relatively close to the floor. If you feel that you're quite arched, then you can put a hand under your back just to take up some of the space. So you're almost like bringing the floor towards you, okay? You could just fold a towel up, a small hand towel, and do the same. That's not a problem. But I want you to feel that you can keep that position without any great muscular effort. If it's very difficult to do that, then you need something just to fill up the gap. Okay, one hand is going to stay on your pelvis though. I'm going to start by just taking some breaths in, and I'm going to ask you just change your hand position so your hands are on your belly for this. You're going to take a breath in, and as you breathe in, I want you to really feel that you're expanding into your belly. And then just breathe out. Now I want you to keep with this expanding belly as you breathe. You may find that you don't breathe like this, that you breathe in the opposite way. As you breathe in, your belly expands. As you breathe out, your belly just relaxes back towards your spine. Practice this as much as you need to practice this, because without this, you won't really progress with any of the other exercises. Breathing in and breathing out. And as you breathe in, the reason your belly expands is because your diaphragm drops down into your belly, which lowers your liver down into your belly. And your intestines have got to go somewhere, so they go up and out up into the air, and they go down into your pelvic floor. And then as you breathe out, your diaphragm lifts back up, so your liver's got somewhere to go, and your intestines have got somewhere to go. Your pelvic floor can lift. The beauty of this exercise is just by breathing, you start to get the abdominal tone, and you start to get your pelvic floor releasing and lengthening and shortening. And rather than thinking about it as a contraction and relaxation, think about it as working those muscles at different lengths. Now, we're going to add to this a small little movement out of the knee. So fingers are going to stay on your hip bones, and your thumbs, you're going to keep your thumbs on your lower ribs. And as you take your knee out to the right side, right knee goes out to the right side, you're going to keep your pelvis and your torso relatively still. You may have this tiny little rotation to the right, but it's tiny, tiny, tiny. And then you're going to bring that right leg back in. You're going to do the same on the left, taking your left knee out to the left side. And then you're going to come gently back in. Now, keep moving through this. Make sure you're breathing. You may feel that the easiest thing is to breathe in as you bring your knee back in. And as you breathe, you take your knee out, you breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Now I want you to make sure you do some on each side, okay? If you're doing a few on the right side, then move to the left. If you have been alternating, then fine, just keep alternating. It really doesn't matter. You're going in and out with the leg and you're ensuring you're breathing. And your focus is on staying balanced in the middle of your lie-low. So you're not going to fall off the lie-low as you do this. Watch that you're not putting pressure on the left and the right. I'm going to go now to alternating right and left. Just take a moment to check in and check that you're not holding tension through your shoulders and through your throat. We're going to make this one the last one. Okay, so keep your hands where they are. If you want to have one hand actually underneath your back just for a little bit of support there, then that's fine with this one. We're going to go into a knee float, which is basically bringing one leg off the floor into what we call tabletop. Okay, and then bring it back down. And the aim again is to keep nicely still through your torso and your shoulders as you do this. So let your shoulder blades relax down on the mat. Let your shoulders, your arm bones relax as much as possible. Just notice your rib cage, your lumbar spine, your lower back, and then your pelvis. Take a breath in here. And as you breathe out, just float that right leg up into tabletop. Breathing in and breathing out and coming back down. I'm going to suggest that you breathe in just to prepare. And then breathing out and then floating the other leg up into tabletop. Breathing in to prepare and then breathing out and coming back down. Now keep moving through this. Keep your hand behind your back, or you can have both hands just connecting your ribs to your pelvis. But as you're doing it, just watch that you're not flattening your back into the mat, and just also check that you're not rotating, twisting too much to the side. Or maybe what I should say is notice what you're doing, because sometimes you can't change things until you've noticed them. Gently moving. As you breathe in and out, you'll notice that that out breath really allows your abdominals to naturally engage. As you do that out breath, your pelvic floor will naturally lift as well. You don't really have to force anything too much. Breathing in and breathing out, and you're going to come back down from there. Okay. I'm going to turn over onto your sides, and you're going to push yourselves up onto your hands and your knees. Spread your hands nice and wide. Now, I would like, if possible, for you to find a natural curve in your spine. A lot of you are probably going to end up with your head down like so. So feel chest forward, bum sticking out, and your head staying nice and lifted. Just breathe in and out a couple of times. In this position, as you breathe out, you'll feel that your belly can hang nicely low. And then as you breathe out, you feel a little lift of your belly. Just keep that breathing in and out a few times. Now gently push into the heels of your hands, and then just take your bottom slightly back towards your heels, thinking about trying to keep a nice neutral spine as you do this, and then just come back out of that. So you're really just tipping your weight forward and backwards. All the time, you're not trying to arch and curl your back. We're trying to keep that lumbar spine just the same shape as it is. Feel that you're really sticking your bum out as you go backwards. The way I don't want you to do it is to lift your belly up towards the ceiling and roll your pelvis backwards. Okay, it's not wrong to do that, but just for this exercise, I don't want you to do that. I want you to try and, so that was me doing it wrong. I want you to really try and find that spreading of your sit bones. You'll feel that you're sending your sit bones wide and back. And then you're just going to come back out of that. Let's just do one more of these. And then back to neutral. Okay, come back now so that you're sitting cross-legged, however you're comfortable. And thank you. I hope you enjoy those.